Abortion bans are killing women. How many? Well, we're finally starting to get a horrifying glimpse into the number. My name is Brittany Page, and this is the Page Perspective. Before we get into this very important topic today, I want to remind you that there's a fundraiser on this video for the National Abortion Federation. They help women find the care that they need and also help pay for that care, including travel accommodations, should a woman need to cross state lines to obtain essential care. If you can donate, please do so below this video. If you cannot donate, please don't worry about it. You can simply share this video with someone who you feel needs to hear the message. Now, Nicole Thurman. I want you to remember her name. I want you to remember her story. And I want you to share her story because she now represents a growing demographic of women that would not exist if Donald Trump had not been elected. If Donald Trump hadn't been afforded the opportunity to appoint not one, not two, but three Supreme Court justices with the stated goal of overturning Roe v. Wade. Nicole Thurman is dead because of Georgia's abortion ban. We know her story because a ProPublica reporter, Kavitha Sarana, who got access to Georgia's Maternal Mortality Review Committee data. Now, maternal mortality review committees exist on a state or local level with many experts coming together to review pregnancy-related deaths that occur during or within 1 year of the end of a pregnancy. The goal being to evaluate these deaths in order to determine what went wrong so that policies can be improved to reduce the number of deaths. You may remember earlier this year, Idaho became the first state without a maternal mortality review committee when the committee expired after a report using data from 2021 found that Idaho's maternal mortality rate nearly doubled from 2018 to 2021. A bill was signed into law earlier this year authorizing the committee again, and it's very important the work of these committees is supported because they give us a glimpse into the damage caused by abortion bans. In Georgia, according to ProPublica here, the Maternal Mortality Review Committee has reviewed deaths through fall 2022. I will remind everyone watching this that it is fall 2024. They are 2 years behind. And we are now learning of the first confirmed death due to the abortion ban. Think about this fact for a minute and imagine where this is headed. Years, plural. This will not be the only death that we hear about. Georgia is just one state with an abortion ban, just one state's maternal mortality review committee. It is typical that these committees operate with a delay in reporting, and we're just now starting to see the full impact of overturning Roe. And in Nicole Thurman's case, Georgia's abortion ban killed her. And according to the committee, her death was preventable. Now, I want you to read this reporting in full, but I will give you an overview of what happened here. Amber was a single mom to a 6-year-old son. She learned she was pregnant with twins, but decided that she needed to have an abortion to preserve her ability to care for her 6-year-old son and to ensure the newfound stability that she had created in her life as she was planning to enroll in nursing school and had just moved out of her parents' house and was living on her own in an apartment complex with a pool. If you've been following my work here on abortion, you will know this is common. The typical abortion patient is already a mother. And we know because of things like the Turnaway study that women have very good reasons for getting abortions. And that includes preserving financial stability. So Amber's pregnancy actually coincided with Georgia's abortion ban at 6 weeks. She had just passed that mark when the law went into effect. There are few exceptions to Georgia's abortion ban, and the law makes performing an abortion a felony, with any doctor who is found guilty of violating the law potentially facing up to 10 years in prison. And given that she couldn't get an abortion in her state, she had to drive. She had to drive to North Carolina. She had to borrow a car. She had to take time off work. She had to endure harassment at the clinic from anti-abortion protesters. And because she had to drive hours to make her appointment, she actually got stuck in traffic. And she missed her appointment for a surgical appointment, for a DNC, for a dilation and curettage, an abortion. So she opted for abortion pills. Unfortunately, she had rare complications from those abortion pills. And because she was 4 hours away from the clinic that provided the pills, and because of the numerous obstacles in her way to get back to that clinic where they would have provided a free D&C, given her essential medical care immediately. And I want to read directly from the ProPublica reporting on the safety of abortion pills, because I don't want to unintentionally scare people here. Abortion pills are extremely safe. Quote, deaths due to complications from abortion pills are extremely rare. Out of nearly 6 million women who have taken mifepristone in the US since 2000, 32 deaths were reported to the FDA through 2022, regardless of whether the drug played a role. Of those, 11 patients developed sepsis. Most of the remaining cases involved intentional and accidental drug overdose, suicide, homicide, and ruptured ectopic pregnancies. Now, the complication resulting from the abortion pills was that there was still fetal tissue in her uterus. She became very ill. She was bleeding, vomiting, passing out, and was admitted to the hospital. The treatment for this dire situation would be an abortion. But the staff at the hospital couldn't give her this treatment because of the abortion ban in Georgia. So they waited for her to get more sick, hoping that she would reach a level of life-threatening illness that would allow them to act and give her an abortion without doctors being brought up on charges and prosecuted, potentially spending time in prison for giving her necessary health care. Now let's stop here, because Republicans would say, wait, the abortion ban has language to cover situations where you need to save the life of the mother. Let's read directly from ProPublica on this point. Quote, in interviews with more than 36 OBGYNs in states that outlawed abortion, ProPublica learned how difficult it is to interpret the vague and conflicting language in abortion bans' medical exceptions, especially, the doctor said, when their judgment could be called into question under the threat of prison time. Take the language in Georgia's supposed life-saving exceptions. It prohibits doctors from using any instrument, quote, with the purpose of terminating a pregnancy, while removing fetal tissue is not terminating a pregnancy, medically speaking. The law only specifies it's not considered an abortion to remove, quote, a dead unborn child that resulted from a, quote, spontaneous abortion, defined as, quote, naturally occurring from a miscarriage or a stillbirth. Thurman had told doctors her miscarriage was not spontaneous. It was the result of taking pills to terminate her pregnancy. There is also an exception, included in most bans, to allow abortions, quote, necessary in order to prevent the death of the pregnant woman or the substantial and irreversible physical impairment of a major bodily function. There is no standard protocol for how providers should interpret such language, doctors said. How can they be sure a jury with no medical experience would agree that intervening was necessary? So doctors are weighing their potential, now criminal liability, and their duty to patient care. And what happens when you wait, and you wait, and you wait? You might not be able to save your patient, just like they weren't able to save Amber. Quote, there is a good chance providing a D&C earlier could have prevented Amber Thurman's death, the Maternal Mortality Review Committee concluded. Like I said, I recommend that you read this entire article and that you share the reporting and that you support organizations like ProPublica who are doing such important work all the time. So what are the takeaways here? And I'm sorry because there's no pretty little bow that I can put on any of this. There will be more death. There will be more pain. There will be continued attempts by Republicans to restrict access to the very life-saving and essential medical care that could have saved Amber Nicole Thurman's life. Hospital administrators will continue to be more concerned with telling doctors to follow the bans that are killing their patients rather than engaging in some sort of political advocacy and support their physicians who do the right thing and care for their patient, even if it puts them at risk. And ProPublica noted in this article that they have a second confirmed death due to Georgia's abortion ban that they are planning to release in the coming days. We are only just starting to see the truth here, but we knew this would happen. And lawmakers, they were warned that this would happen, just as they're being warned right now about women bleeding out in parking lots and facing dangerous delays to care because of abortion bans. while women who manage to survive those situations are telling them, Republican lawmakers are ignoring their pleas. In fact, just remember what Donald Trump recently said when asked whether he regrets what has occurred as a result of his direct role in overturning Roe v. Wade.
So no regrets?
No regrets, no, I wouldn't have regrets.
It is up to us now to use our voices for those who are no longer here to speak. It is up to us to engage, to educate, to organize, to vote, because we can work to stop the damage, and we owe that to people like Nicole Thurman. What do you think? I'd love to know. Please tell me in the comments below, or by calling 657-464-7609, or by sending an email to idoubtit@dollemore.com. You can support my work on Patreon at patreon.com/idoubtitpodcast, or by becoming a channel member. And if you are a channel member and want a Page Perspective sticker, please send me an email with your mailing address and I will send one to you. Don't forget to subscribe. Most of my views come from people who are not yet subscribed. I'm working to increase my output here, and your views, comments, likes, subscribes, they all help with that. Take care, and I will see you next time.